Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, guys. I'm right in the corner of my garage. What am I doing? Well, if you keep up with the channel, I had a bit of an off at Donington. Not a bad one. I managed to get the car slowed down, but I couldn't quite make the corner. So I had a bit of a trip in the gravel. And a lot of gravel was thrown up into the alloy. And the alloy had all little like white spots on it on the day. And I was a bit worried, but that I might have to have it refurbed. But actually, then after giving it a good kind of scrub, it's not too bad. There's the odd one, but it doesn't really need refurbing actually. So that I got away with that. Also on the day, I picked up a stone chip there and there, so I'm going to put a little bit touch up on those. But the main thing was where I caught the gravel, a little bit of gravel rash along here. And I noticed this. I think that's some sort of bug splatter etching or something. I don't know what that is. That wasn't there when I polished the car. He's polishing his car again. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. There's some sort of bug splatter or chemical etching. So what I'm going to do is just wet sand the rough edge here and buff it with wool, and then to take out the sandy marks. It's a bit of a bad place to have wet sand right on that curved edge, but it's just going to remove. I mean, it's not bad, this. I mean, I'm almost tempted to leave it. So what I've got up here, I've just got some P3000, which is, you could probably go with P2000 if you wanted to just go a bit quicker. I've got the Flex, what's it called? PE80, is it? No, what's it called? Flex little mini rotary. Can't remember what it's called. PE8 maybe. And I've got a Rupes wall pad on there. Flexery and Rupesery live together in perfect harmony. And that's going to be ideal for taking out the sandy marks with the Rupes coarse compound. And I'll use the Uno Advanced, which is a cracking finishing product, just to finish off the, on the foam pad, just to take away the wool hazing. And it will also put down a sort of nano protection, which is nice and silky and matches what I've got on the car, which is, what have I got? I've got the Ultralock. So yeah, I think the thing with this car, if we just come back a little bit, what I got on here, just needs a little wipe down there. Doing the track days, the front end of the car, you are going to get stone chips and stuff like that on the car. And the way I see it is, if you're worried about it, either don't track the car or do a front end PPF. But even a front end PPF, when you've got stones hitting it and stuff like that, it's going to puncture the PPF eventually. So I just kind of figure in 3 or 4 years' time, I'll just get the front bumper resprayed and perhaps the front bonnet resprayed, because that's probably just the best way to do it. Anyway, let's crack on. So what I'm going to do is set the camera down here. I'm really tight on space actually. And I've got just a little backing plate there, Maguire's one, and some, it's not Uni-Grit, I can't remember where I got this grit paper from, one of the detailing distributors. Don't buy the stuff in Halford, sorry, but it's just no good. So I'm just going to sand along here, keep some water on there, just nice and smooth. You can see it's working already. It's just going to haze up. I don't want to go too deep. Just want to feel when it feels a bit smoother, and like the little white dots from the compressed clear coat disappear. See all that milky stuff? That means you're removing clear coat, which is good. Keep rinsing it off. And I'm just going to lightly sand these little marks. Oh, that's good. So they're on the surface, whatever they were. And just there. And I think that's literally enough, guys. Now, if I take a clean microfiber towel, just wipe that off. I now have, it's wet, But if I bring the camera back, you can see all the sanding haze that I put in there. It's a real fine haze though. It's not like deep sanding marks. If you can ever see the sanding lines, then you need to step that down before you're going to cut it, or else you're just going to cut it and still see the sanding lines. So it's always good to step that down to like 2500 or 3000, because you know that when you hit it with the wool, you're not going to have like fine texture in there, you know, from the sanding lines. So what I'm just doing now, that you can't see, let's bring the camera back up, hopefully, so you can get an idea of what we're doing. Dodgy camera work, hopefully you can see this. This is a new pad, so I'm just going to give it a little spin. It usually gets some loose fibres, but that's okay. These are pretty good. You don't need to do this at high speed, and yes, you should probably, it's going to sling a bit, you know, it's going to sling a bit when you use this rotary, so it's just the way of it. And I haven't brought my Rupes claw thing, so I'll prime it with my hands and clean my hands off. Saves me getting up and I'll lose half of you. So don't usually do it this way, but anyway, never mind. Okay, so we've got a good amount of compound in our wool, and hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, and that should be enough to just, probably going to splatter the camera. It's a bit awkward. So this is very awkward. Don't want to change the shot. You're going to get a shot up my shorts, which isn't going to be good, but the camera's kind of in the way. This is really awkward. I should really move the car out. I'm just going to do this on a low speed. That's it. Then we take off this stuff. We've got no sling at all, which is nice. So we just take off the polish. And we should, yeah, we've got rid of our sanding marks. Let's just buff that out. We've got rid of that weird etching. So that's good. But even using that rotary, there's not much heat there actually. It's a nice low speed, but you don't really need to crank the rotary up. It still just does the job with that coarse compound. That feels a lot smoother now. And all we've got to do is take off that pad, put on this pad. I'm doing it one-handed. It's going to be on wonky, I think. That's good enough. And then get our Rupes Advanced. This stuff is absolutely magic. It's so good. The protection element of it is what's advanced. It really puts down some proper silky protection, and it feels so good on the buff. It's really good stuff, this is. It's like the first, it's not an AOY really, because it's not a cut and finish, it's a finishing polish with the protection. So if you put maintenance product polish, it's really, really top class. And I'll be using it a lot, I think. So let's just dab this out. The rest of this bumper where I don't hit, well, the splitter has got protection on it, so it should be fine. And I'm going to just slow this down even more. Let's just make sure we don't sling. Hopefully you can see this. Sorry if you can't. And then you're supposed to leave that on there for 15 minutes. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just going to buff that. If you want to get the most out of the protection, leave that for 15 minutes. I'm just really using it to take out the buffer trails that I can't see, but just in case there are any, it's just going to gloss it all up. And now, down there, I mean, there's a chip there that I can't take, but that looks as good as it was before. You're always going to have a few little chips on the front splitter because it's just the bit that, you know, will get stones on it. But now, my incident from Donington is gone. All that white rash that was there where we've just wet sanded it, it's taken off that compressed clear coat. It's taken off that etching and we're done. And really, I think the rotary is probably a good option for along here. The DA will just bog when you try to just polish that little lip there. So there you go, guys. Yeah, nice. So sometimes I'll probably do some more videos on the rotary because I very rarely use it anymore, because I think if you're spreading sealant and stuff like that, or just polishing up your car, you know, just glossing it up, then the DA is definitely the way to go. But if you're ever taking out sanding marks, you know, the rotary and the wall pad is just so good. Even on a slow speed, it just seems to work and you can just pressure into it a bit more and it does a really good job. So I'll always have these the rotaries and use them whenever I need to. And that's it. So I'm really pleased with that. We are down. I had a little bit more life in these pads. You see those ceramic pads? I've got about 2 mil, but they're going to be replaced. I'm putting fresh pads front and rear. I was paranoid about losing the brakes. Once these brakes are below 50%, they're not as good, you know, same with any braking system, because they just, you don't have as much meat to soak up the heat. So the heat kind of gets into the caliper and then gets into the fluid, and your brakes just, you can lose them quicker. You don't want to overheat carbon ceramics as well, because once you overheat them, you can really wear them quite quickly. So I figured I'm going to put new pads on. And then when you've got those full, fresh, meaty pads on, you can really stomp on them and drive a lot harder. It was Donington, I was kind of having to coast a little bit and not really brake late. And I don't like doing that. I like to go for it. Although I shouldn't. Other than that, the tyres are going to be good. You always get wear on the shoulders, so these shoulders are going now. You can see, like, you know, the treads on the shoulders are there, but you know, you can see they've been on the track. But they'll be good for one more session on the fronts at least. So I'll be taking these to Thruxton in September, and they should be good for that. Then after Thruxton, I'll put Cup 2s on. I'm not overly impressed with these m4cs. They're all right. They're not, don't get me wrong, in some ways they're really good. Like Lou was saying, they're a road tyre at the end of the day that you can use on track, but I just find them a little bit soft, a little bit squirmy, and I don't trust them. I don't really like leaning on them because, you know, it's just weird. It's just a feeling. It's almost a feeling. So I'm really keen to get the Cup 2s on. But anyway, I'm glad I've sorted out my front lip there, guys. So there's just a quick video. I hope you're all doing well. Don't forget to subscribe. We've just finished our best APC video. I'm going to be deciding what to go on next. It's probably going to be glass sealants or citruses. But I think glass sealants, APC is very similar to citruses. So I'll probably do the glass sealants next, just for my sanity. Might give myself a little break for a couple of weeks. I've got a few things going on with Fresh Layers. We're going to be doing some videos with them, which should be really fun. Got some good cars, hopefully, lined up. Beyond that, I've got a few videos that I'm shooting at the moment today. And so we'll need to stay on it, keep our foot on the YouTube accelerator, and keep on enjoying it. So thank you very much for your support, all the guys that have been watching over the years and commenting. The people that comment, really important, because that makes the video interesting and adds to it. So let me know your thoughts on all of this, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Ding.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when